Hello everyone. Today we're here to talk about another interesting subject, and that's collagen protein. As you probably have seen in our previous posts, we have talked about the whey protein and other subjects, amino acids, but collagen remains one of the very controversial and interesting subjects. A lot of people don't really know why they should use it, who should use it, do they actually need it or not, should they take it from food, should they take it as a supplement, and today we're here to talk about all that in details. As we discussed before, there are billions different types of proteins in our body depending on the type of amino acids in them and the concentration of amino acids. In general, around 15% of the weight of a normal, average, healthy person is protein. For instance, if somebody weighs 70 kilograms, 15% of that, which is around 10 kilograms, is protein. And 30% of that is collagen in our body. Yes, collagen accounts for almost 5 to 6% of the total amount of body weight of a healthy person. That's why collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. Collagen is naturally produced in our body, but unfortunately, as we age, the production of collagen in our body declines, which is why usually with older age, we have symptoms of lack of collagen, such as weaker bones, such as pain in our joints, such as cellulite in our skins, wrinkles in our skins, on all these which are usually symptoms of lack of production of collagen in our body. There are a lot of contents that we find on YouTube and social media from self-proclaimed experts saying that basically because our body breaks down all the proteins that we eat, we don't actually need to take any specific type of protein because our body takes the protein and decomposes it into the building blocks of the proteins, which are amino acids, and then builds all the protein that it needs. This is actually true, but it doesn't actually mean that the functions of all the proteins that we eat are the same. For instance, whey protein is a very good protein if you want to build muscle, but is really not a very good source if you want to build connecting tissues. That are usually attained by having collagen. This has to do with the composition of the amino acids in different proteins that we take. I give you an example. So for instance, if you take 100 grams of whey protein, 20 grams of that is almost BCAA and 40 grams of that is EAA, essential amino acids. So that is why whey protein is a very good source if you want to build muscle. But let's compare it to collagen. If you take 100 grams of collagen, you have only 5 to 7% of BCAA and maybe 15 to maximum 17% of EAA. Not a very significant source of BCAA and EAA. Let's now look at other amino acids that are important to build the structural integrity of our muscles and bones and cartilages and ligaments and in our body, which is collagen. So the amino acids that are in collagen that is responsible for giving us that quality is proline, glycine, and hydroxyproline. These three amino acids account for 55 to 57% of collagen. In other words, out of each 100 grams of collagen, you have 57 grams of glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. These are the triple important magical amino acids that are needed to make structural integrity of our body. These are the connecting tissue building amino acids. While 57% of collagen are these three amino acids, these are accounts for almost 5 to 10, maximum 10% of whey protein, which is why again, whey protein cannot really function as a protein that you need in order to replace the cartilages and the ligaments and skins and all this connecting tissue that we have in our body. All right, to summarize everything we discussed, proteins are defined by their building blocks, in other words, amino acids. So while collagen contains 57% of the major three amino acids that are used for making the connecting tissue, this quality is not offered by other types of proteins such as whey protein or plant protein or other types of proteins. That makes collagen unique because those three major amino acids you can only take from collagen. Let's say if you want to get the same amount of amino acids, those three amino acids from let's say whey protein, you're going to have to consume like 10 times more, which is really not a good choice in terms of your kidney health or liver and other health aspects of consuming too much protein. A lot of people believe that collagen is not a complete protein. Well, the answer to that question is, actually, that's not a question, why I say it. That statement. That statement is partly true because collagen contains only 19 amino acids as opposed to whey protein, which contains 20 amino acids. The only amino acid missing from collagen is tryptophan, which is one of the EAAs, one of the essential amino acids. So in one sense, it's true, collagen is not really the most effective protein for building muscle, but like I said before, collagen is very well capable of providing you with the essential amino acids in terms of building the connecting tissue, which gives your body the structural integrity.